Good afternoon, folks. Tons of Gas YouTube channel. Today we are going to be showing you my 1995 BMW 840 AC Schnitzer. I drive this a lot. It typically sits in that garage because I drive it so much. It's an 8 Series 1995 V8. They also made a 850 that comes with the V12. This is one of my favorite cars. When I was growing up, I think whenever I saw this, I just thought of like luxury and that somebody really hit it big. That was my perception at the time because the 8 Series, this is the first of those models. They had 7 Series before that, 5 and 3, but no 8 Series. So some of the cool things about this is obviously the body kit from it, from AC Schnitzer. These wheels are very iconic for the day. 18-inch. I'm running 245s in the front and 275s in the back, so extremely wide in the back end. This car is a black metallic color. I think it's called Diamond Schwartz. AC Schnitzer mirrors. There's some badging on this from AC Schnitzer. This car doesn't have any of the like engine upgrades or anything like a dining kit would, but it does have a different exhaust on it. One of my favorite features is this, the windows. They all go down. It's so cool. There's not a lot of cars. I don't even know if there's any other cars that I know of that do that, but driving down the road, it's just, it's a great looking car. This car is always going to be in style. To me, it drives good, it runs good, it's a highway car, it's easy to drive. The air conditioning is so cold. R12 still in it. The rear wing, it's got the AC Schnitzer badging on it. I believe, I thought their badging had like maybe a pan or a cheetah or something of that nature. I can't remember, but anyway, it's got the badging back here. Dual exhaust, obviously from the V8 style. I'll show you a little bit on the inside. You can tell back here there is absolutely no room for anybody to sit in. And I'm not even tall, I'm 5'10", and this is where my seat sits. So you could, if you really wanted to, put somebody in the back. The seats go down. This is cool. The seats go down if you wanted to put them down and put some storage or something on top of the seats. But this car is a Canadian model, so all the lights, the parking lights and stuff like that, stay on when you crank it up. It's got some miles on it. I think it's got 169,000 kilometers, so whatever, 110,000, 20,000 miles, something like that, 20,000 maybe. The dash is all in kilometers as well. But nevertheless, it's automatic transmission, heated seats. I love the heated seats. It's got the AC Schnitzer identifier here as well on the center console. Aftermarket radio, got Alcantara, sunroof, and headliner that was put in afterwards. Super nice car. Kenwood stereo. Your individual climate controls, and like I said, this AC is crazy cold. It's so cold that I turn it all the way down to the lowest setting, and I even have to adjust it on the temperature gauge itself. That's how cold it is. One of my favorite features is the pop-up headlights. So you can see those. And then with the high beams on, and it just looks so awesome. This car going down the road, if you get a front shot here, one of the parking lights is out. I got to replace that bulb, but nevertheless, it just looks mean coming down the road. I'll turn them off for you. You can see how they can go up and down. Pretty neat. Let me show you the engine. Like I said, it's a V8. I think it's pushing around 400 horsepower. Kind of weird way you open this hood. There's 2 little latches right here, and you push them in to open it. So Pretty big engine. It's a 4-liter, but it looks huge. It's a very, very big V8 4-liter. Everything works on the car as it should. Pretty crazy how they do this hood with the notch out. A lot of times these hoods would not have this, and this would be incorporated into the body. But this hood actually goes around the lights. So very unique design for a kind of a shark nose type of design with pop-up headlights. Obviously your sunroof's in here, airbag, power seats. I think the trunk has a lot of junk in it. This is the wheel that came with. I'm not like an old Momo, but I put the original one back on. CD changer, obviously your toolkit in here. Let's see if it's got anything. It's got pretty much everything except for the actual caution stand. So, like I said, I drive it, that's why it's got stuff in here. But rear wing, really, really cool car. I like it a lot. I drive it, it's easy, it's an automatic. A lot of times when I drive the manuals, I like to get back into an automatic that is comfortable and I can take on the highway. I would drive this thing across country, no problem at all. So, like I said, one of my favorite cars. I put a lot of miles. I've probably put, since I got this, 10, 12,000 miles easily on it in the last 3 or 4 years. But I found this, I was down in Atlanta at a car show. I think it was called Cars and Octane, I believe. And a gentleman had it, and I asked him if he wanted to sell it, and he said, maybe. And he probably called me a month or so later, and I picked it up that following week. So I had an 850 that I sold to my brother, and I wanted to replace it with this. That 850 had, I believe, 16 or 17,000 miles on it. My brother still has it, but nevertheless, let's go for a ride, and I'll let you hear the sounds of it, and I think you'll think it's pretty cool. We'll do a startup on the exhaust. Okay, we're gonna go for a little ride here in the BMW 840 AC Schnitzer. Gonna put the windows up, get some cool AC going, get the sunroof closed because it is a little hot out today. All right, we're gonna take a little spin here around the block. The riding position in this thing is so freaking comfortable. It's got cruise control. I mean, this thing is loaded. Here's all of your speed. If you want to, you could limit the speed on this. Consumption 2, mile range, how much gas I have left, exterior temperature, my average speed. If you wanted to limit the speed, you could. There's all kinds of stuff on here. Speed, your codes to the original radio. You used to have to punch in a code if the battery was bad. Kilometers to miles. There we go. So I don't use it, but we will, back in the day, that was really, oh, this is also for, I think this is for winter transmission mode. That little star right there. And it still gets up and goes pretty good. This thing is so smooth. It's a nice highway car. You can just cruise at 80, 90 miles an hour, no problem at all. And if Charmeck Police Department are listening, it's probably me that whizzed by you. Vroom! The gas is in liters. It holds 90 liters right here, 90 liters. So I think that's about 26 or 27 gallons. school zone, so not a lot of speeding going on here. Here's your fog lights. Pretty cool. Fog lights here. The rear window defrost for your individual climate. So you have the cold for the AC, obviously hot for heat. Down here you have your parking stuff, which P is for pass, R is for race, the N is for night mode, and then you have D for day mode. So we're in day mode right now. A lot of times this car doesn't work at night. I put it in night mode. See, look, I rev it up. It's not night, so it's not going anywhere. You have to put it back into D mode. D mode, and then it'll work. Very odd. All of your lights here, individual lights. These are called map lights. You used to have to read the maps back in the day. You see these vents right here? Check this out. See that? That's your map light. Individual map lights. This is your door. Courtesy, I think they call it a courtesy dome light. Even my car has more courtesy than most people around in this town. It's called the courtesy light. You open the door, the light goes on, the women can see when they sit down. It's a fabulous thing. All right, we're almost out of the school zone. We're almost out of the school zone. All right, we're out of the school zone. Here we go, here we go. Not too shabby for an old 95 V8 BMW. Now, we'll put the windows down and you can see how cool this is. It opens up the whole car. Really, really awesome feature. I like it. You can't do anything crazy with the windows down like that because everybody looks at you. No picking of your nose, nothing like that. I've got tinted windows. You can do it with the windows up, but not down. All right. So all the windows are down. We'll put the sunroof back here. Get some light shining in. I remember I was just out of high school. I had a 1991 BMW E30 M3 and it had this same steering wheel on it. It was the first year of the airbags. And I used to go to the BMW meetings when I was in Atlanta. Actually, it was Norcross, Georgia. But nevertheless, all of the guys were like, oh, you got the 91, you got the airbag. You know, I think they said it was like a European airbox. I liked it. I put BBS on that car, some Intrex springs, and I did a chip. Back then, when you do the chips, you take the ECU, you'd have to tie like a rubber band around you and put a chip in. I think it was a Dynan chip back then. But it's got the same steering wheel. This is power, so it'll move out, up, down. These cars were luxury. Your individual controls, heat. So it's still got its R12 Freon in it. That's why this thing is so cold. All of your power switches over here for your windows. One of the things about this car that's a little bit annoying, probably the hardest car to find parts for. Like this ashtray doesn't close properly and I want to fix it. I've been looking for probably 5 or 6 years for one. And I can't find it anywhere. I've got Alfa Romeos, I've got Lancias, I've got all these different cars. And for some reason, there's very specific stuff that I can't find. In fact, this, Mike from Eurowise made this, and then I found a guy that actually online had them new, and I'm guessing he reproduces them, changes it all to LED. But that was very hard to find right here. If anybody has one of these, please let me know. I want a new one and make it look nice. It's the only thing on the car that doesn't work. I want to get it fixed. So somebody overseas must have something for me. So this headliner was replaced. It's Alcantara. Most of the time, these, just from due to age, the headliners tend to fall down and they lose their grip. So this was replaced. It was done really, really nice. Now that I drive this, I'm going to put it back into my main garage. It's summertime. The air's cold. It does have heated seats, which work. It's got a low setting and then a high setting. They take a little while to warm up, from what I remember. It wasn't instant, but when they got going, it felt pretty good in the winter. So we'll close this back up. As you can see, there's not a lot of space in the back, as I stated before. It's more of just a two-person vehicle. I'm not going to move my seat up all the way so someone can cram in the back. They can take an Uber. I'm not doing it. Although we probably could put Vince back there sideways somehow. What do you think, Vince? We put you sideways? Okay. Whenever I saw these cars on the road when they first came out back in the early 90s, I just thought they were the coolest thing. There wasn't anything like it. There was no... They had the Mercedes, which was the big 5 Series Mercedes. Actually, I think those windows actually went down the same as these. Yeah, they did. Mercedes went down the same way. But nevertheless, this was just more sporty. It was a sporty luxury car. So it even has like a dimmer on here on the mirror. Pretty cool. On or off for night mode. So you would use it in neutral on here and turn this to night mode. Those correspond. So if you're in Charlotte and you ever see this car speeding around and it has this button pushed right here, this is hazards. It means that my ex-girlfriend's chasing me, and please get out of the way. If you could block, that would be great. A little bit of blocking, that would be phenomenal. My lights are going. It's hazard mode. It's like I got a hazard behind me. We're gonna go by this officer, give it a little rumble of the V8 and see what he says. See, you put it back in night mode because we know it doesn't work, right? And then back into D for day mode. Guy's sleeping on the road right there. He's sleeping on the side. He's not doing any traffic control, I can tell you that. Very nice car. I like it. The last one I bought was in Raleigh, and I drove it back from Raleigh, had the cruise on doing 90. I bought this in Atlanta, same thing. Right up the highway, right up 85. Never skipped a beat.